TV strapped to my back and no wherewithal.
Well, we are Alejandro and
Matt
from Pope, and these are our Sisters in Christ picks.
Guest picks, yeah.
All right, starting with the boy, Elliot Smith, because how can you not? I guess this is a compilation of stuff that didn't come out that I think was like either or time, but Elliot Smith has always been a super favorite. You know, incredible songs, like love how Bare It Is, it's just him and his guitar, and when he did the full band stuff, like of course it was amazing too. Even for our recordings, like a lot of influence there from his double tracking of the vocals, and just, you know, different things, all the ear candy stuff, just a lot of really cool stuff to find in Elliot Smith. You know, it's sad but also so triumphant, and you know, a treasure to be cherished forever.
Yeah, I agree.
Take turns if you want.
I love this record too. 100% agree, all the way around. We take a lot of influence from him, so it's very important.
The track New Monkey.
It's a really good one.
Messing me up lately.
I love that one. There's a couple really really good ones on here.
Check the track list.
High Times is cool. Going Nowhere. Dude, All Cleaned Out. I remember that one. Miss Misery. I mean, that's like a classic.
The song from that ruined his life.
Yeah, it was. Wasn't that the one for the movie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Too Bad, I guess. Was a pretty good movie. Or at least I remember. I haven't seen it forever. Yeah. I'm spacing. There's a couple on here that are like really. Oh, See You Later. That one's really good. See you later.
Just, you know, his catalog is huge, and there's something for anything you might be feeling in your life. Good stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I'll go. To mix it, or I'll start with records. This is CYNDI Lauper's first record. It's really awesome. I mean, like, I feel like a lot of people know Cyndi Lauper for Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and like, you know, a lot of people, or also they probably know for like, this record has all Time After Time. It has that famous Prince cover.
Check out this back cover, y'all.
Yeah, this is kind of a sick back cover. I'm just taking it in.
Super sick. Van Gogh.
Yeah. It's a classic. I think a track people don't talk about that, for me, Money Changes Everything, which is the first track on this record, is so good. People do not talk about that song ever. And I think it is a real rocker on the level of like any Bruce Springsteen song or anything else coming out that time. It sounds just as rock and roll, just as edgy in a lot of ways, in my opinion. But I don't know if you have any Cyndi Lauper opinions. She's
good.
Yeah, she's good. You know, some people might not like her voice too. I don't think my mom's a big fan of her voice because it gets really high pitched, but I dig it. I think it's cool. Yeah, so that's me.
Nice. Now, a local favorite local of mine, not around anymore, but Heat Dust, super cool band. You know, reminds me of, you know, a couple years ago here, when I first moved here, and, you know, so many amazing bands. Heat Dust was just super fuzzy, poppy, like really good, and I know it inspired our band a lot. I know the members are kind of scattered now, but a band that I miss and, you know, listen to from time to time, that are really cool 10-inch. Can't remember the name of the 10-inch right now, but super great band. Good nostalgia here for sure. Yeah. Love the Heat Dust.
Heat Dust is dope. OG, way back.
You want to do it your local?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I got Casual Burn. I didn't even know that they put this out yet. David sent me, I think that are these recordings like 6 months ago or so, and he was looking to potentially try and find a label or something, and I was like, I don't know who to hit up, man, but you know, I think these recordings are sick, and I love your band. One of the coolest punk bands in town, I think, hands down, at least for me. The show is phenomenal. Like, everything about it's cool. Like, it, you know, they have this weird. It's very old school while sounding really new to me, if that makes sense. I feel like that's a pretty oxymoron thing to say, but like it just echoes the sounds of a lot of 80s hardcore music, but then also has like there's elements that feel like very Patti Smith to me, and like rock and roll too, and just super catchy. I love Casual Burn. I mean, I really do. I'm really hyped that this record's out. I didn't know. I had no idea in this quarantine. So this is super sick. Cool art too. But that's my local.
Nice. Next, I have Merchandise, another huge Pope influence. If you listen to the first EP, I think I pretty much lifted a bass line from Merchandise. But another really cool band that, been fortunate to see a few times here. I remember a show at the Big Top where everything went wrong for them and their drum machine, and, they still came back. Cool band from Tampa, reminiscent of like 80s kind of alternative rock, like Depeche Mode and The Cure. Some great singing. I think they're on 4AD now. Don't think they've put anything out in a little while.
Yeah.
Brian's handling the business. Oh, it's Greg.
Greg, yeah.
My boss. This is a cool little live BBC session. I don't know if they're going to put anything out.
I feel like they're
soon.
done.
They might be done. But, there's no Pope without Merchandise for sure.
That was a huge moment for us, for sure. Particularly, this time of Merchandise. I think they only had this and one other thing out when we got into them. And then we just, for me, it kind of fell off, but, maybe.
That happens with bands you love.
Yeah.
Sometimes it falls off.
Yeah.
And that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's totally cool. Well, I'll go with this one because that's even better choice what Alex is going to say next, but Dick Diver. Don't really know this record at all, actually. Know zero things about it except that Dick Diver, a couple of my friends really love, and Dick Diver is I think they're Australian or they're from New Zealand, but they're like Kiwi pop, doing the same thing. I think the Dick Diver started a lot of other bands. They were like a group that split up into 4 other Kiwi pop bands from Australia, New Zealand area right now that represent kind of the old school sound of Kiwi pop and scene still. I'm pretty sure, what's in one of the artists that came out, Blackout Coastal Fever or whatever, Blackout Coastal Fever. Yeah, that's who they are. Which are a pretty popular band right now, actually. That's a member from Dick Diver. There's a couple other bands I'm kind of spacing, but they're all really good, and they're all Kiwi pop, and they're all really catchy.
Is this a super group of sorts?
Sorta. It was it's like the origin.
Oh, okay.
So if you think of I'm trying to think of a good example because I don't want to be how the Beatles broke off and they all were big. It's kind of the same sort of thing. But they're not all super big, but they're all big in their small scene of the Kiwi pop world.
Nice.
The modern Kiwi pop world, which is kind of a weird place to be, probably to begin with, but I like it a lot. Rui loves this record. Ben loves these guys' records.
These people you may or may not know.
Yeah, you may not know. It's friends of ours. Dick Diver's cool. I wish I knew more about this one. I wish the record cover was cooler. Honestly, Dick Diver, step up. This record cover is weak. It looks like a first grader did it. But, that's cool. Maybe that's the vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's just a vibe. Maybe take my sunglasses off. No, the colors aren't any cooler. Sorry, Dick Diver. But it's in my picks, so hey. They got me still.
Well, to continue the Kiwi pop vibe, we have the OGs, the Bats. This is also kind of a pick for our drummer Atticus, who isn't here.
Yeah.
Who introduced both of us to this music in a lot of ways. Really poppy, just good rock songs, pretty lo-fi sometimes. All kind of has similar vibe, all of these bands. And it's a really cool little movement in New Zealand that we're, getting to enjoy now, thanks to Flying Nun and Captured Tracks and labels like that. But check out the Bats. It's all good. There's so much material, you can just kind of throw it on and forget about it, tune in and out.
It's cool.
It's cool.
I mean, you don't hear records like the Bats anymore because people don't make music on a lo-fi level. I feel like that way on average. Like even recordings at home and lo-fi music now doesn't sound the way the Bats sounded. Like it's like them, the Cleaners for Venus, and like people like that. It's just like Guided by Voices. It's like this lack of care that was so cool. Like the lack of care in recording it. And it just was all about the delivery and like the performance. It's very cool sound.
Great bass lines, cool melodies, really catchy. The Chills is another band of this kind of group. Really cool, If you listen to Atticus's drumming, I'm sure you'll hear this kind of stuff. Simple, but like what gets the job done. Because what else could you put there?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess just to mix it up a little bit, here is a Selena VHS. It's sick. I mean, I love this movie so much for so many reasons. It's such a good movie. Selena is so cool. We're both from Texas. It's like really prevalent in like when I was raised. I mean, like I remember my dad telling me a story about how he almost took me to see Selena when I was like 2 at the rodeo.
Why didn't he? I guess you were 2.
He decided that, I was 2 and that I wouldn't he didn't think like I would care later. But like I grew up, because he's not musical and neither is my mom, or like they're not very art-oriented people. So I don't think they were thinking that my brother and I would end up the way we did in the art.
But what a great answer for what's your first concert?
It would have been amazing. Oh, I would have loved that. I would have remembered in my soul, in my heart, somewhere along the line. I would have felt it. I mean, like, it's awesome. If you have never seen this movie, too, Jennifer Lopez does such a good job. Like, it's crazy. She's so awesome. Like, really check out this film. I can't really recommend it more.
I haven't seen it. So
you've never seen it? It's so good. You'd love it. You'd absolutely love it. It's amazing. It touches your heart. Story of Selena. Also, a bunch of great actors and actresses in it, and a lot of relevant messages even to now. Love it. I almost spent $60 on a Selena shirt one time, so like I care enough to do that. Almost do it. Yeah, no way in hell I was actually gonna do it, but she's amazing. She represents a lot, I think, too.
Well, I'm on my last one. Another nostalgia pick. Got some Bright Eyes, Digital Ash, and a Digital Urn. I think the cooler of the double release that they did, it was I'm Wide Awake and then this album. High school essential, formative band. Emo and sad and like cringy sometimes when you're looking back at it, but I love Conor Oberst, and this is like very different from kind of what they were doing, a lot more electronic and like, I don't know, just different territory. I'll never be ashamed to say I love this band. And Conor's doing a lot of cool stuff too, still, as an older drunk man.
I don't know.
It's cool. I owe a lot to this band for sure. They've got a cool album with Phoebe Bridgers that came out a couple years ago. Not much else to say. I still remember who showed me this band. Hetty.
Whoa,
Bright Eyes.
You remember who?
People who show you these bands that mean so much to you.
Oh, no,
where it all starts.
Yeah.
I remember when Matt and I saw Bright Eyes, we went to South by. I think it might have been our first South by.
Yeah, we waited for so long.
Just old enough to drive. Austin's like a 2.5 hour drive from Houston. And we went and saw Bright Eyes, and it was awesome. And,
we
haven't missed a South by since then until this year.
Which was canceled.
We technically didn't due miss to circumstances.
So we haven't missed a South by.
Hopefully we'll see Bright Eyes at South by again one year.
Yeah, we waited for like hours in front of that stage. All the warm-up acts.
All the warm-up acts.
It's lasted so long.
But man, what an era of like 2000s indie folk, you know.
Yeah, happening on that stage too.
The Deer Tick era.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I'll probably buy this from Brian today, and he'll be happy about that. It's $25.
Fat.
All right, I'm done.
Well, I have two more left really quick. I'll just be super fast. This is a Gary Numan record. This one's pretty cool. I just remember I played in a group called Shark's Teeth too, and like in town, and it's got a lot of cool synths and vocals, and I just remember hearing this and being like, "Whoa, this is Gary Numan! This blows my mind!" And it's a pretty cool record. Also, I think a pretty interesting cover. It's pretty, like, you know, pretty cool stuff. Really don't know that much about it other than I've heard it before in another setting and really enjoyed it. And I've seen it been popping up lately, actually, at friends' houses and other places. Like, when they put on a record, this one's been in their rotation, which is, like, you know, is surprising to me. It's just not, he's not who I think about all the time when a lot of my friends are listening to music that I think they gravitate towards, but it's very cool. And then this is a Choir Boy. I just, you know, Choir Boy's
I would have
super
also
dope.
picked this one. It's like a double pick for sure.
Yeah,
As far as new bands go.
exactly. I wanted to get something newer too, because like I have the selection here is amazing. I haven't like been shopping at a record store in so long because I've been displaced as far as like having a place to store all the records and stuff. So yeah, like this one's great. I mean, this is really awesome. Honestly, this is like one of my favorite. What would you classify this as? Like, I want to like as a genre.
I mean, it's just, you know, part of like the kind of electronic, like dark wave thing, but it's, you know, a little bit more interesting and like sparkly and like really cool melodies.
It's very also sounds like the same energy as like The Cure and stuff and Moments. I feel like nothing like The Cure really, and they do sound way more modern.
Great drum machines,
Yeah.
you know, vampire vibes for sure.
Yeah, I wish I could just like say, okay, well, you know, there's like Cockatoo Twins records over there. Like, I feel like this is in the same world, maybe a little bit. Not necessarily, but this is like a modern group, and they're really amazing live. And
From Salt Lake City, of all places.
it's just awesome. Like, it's really good. Like, they nail it on the head. The recording sounds amazing. The production's amazing. The songs are so good. The melody is great. His voice is phenomenal. It's really, I'm hard pressed to say anything bad about this record. It's a serious mood when you put it on. And then I feel like also their new one is really, that just came out, is pretty darn cool too. Production super on point with that one too. But overall, I think that there's more crooners on this for me than the new
Crooner,
one.
for sure.
But like, I like the new one still. Like, still thumbs up on the new one. But this is where my heart is, at least with them. But yeah, well, that's pretty much it, I guess.
That's it. We are Pope. Those are the picks. Thank you, Brian, Sisters in Christ, and the Sisters in Christ crew. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Yeah. Cool.